And we are live. Good morning. Happy Monday. Let's make sure we're on here. How are we doing today? It is Monday, August 24th. Almost September. Nuts. We are getting dangerously close to our big events for the fall. We've got the triathlon coming up in just about 3 weeks. And then we've got beach brawl coming up at the end of September. So we are in the full swing of beach brawl training, working with our coaches, working with our clients, Saturday morning training sessions. It's just been absolutely a blast. It makes me really thankful that I have a coach. It makes me really grateful to my clients that I'm working with for trusting in me. And we are getting some amazing results, guys. We are getting strong. We are getting fit. And we still have over a month of hard work, but we're in a really good place. If you were looking to test your fitness in a local little competition, I know everybody has heard about our Fit Fest coming up in October. We had a ton of communication and posts about that on the Instagram last week. I also sent you guys 2 emails over the weekend. It has every single link you need to sign up for Deca Strong, Deca Atlas, High Rock Strong, because we have our sights set not only on the massive Deca Fit that's coming to Atlanta in November, but we are training for the April Atlanta High Rocks. So it'll be, about a year since Atlanta had a High Rocks. So I know that this one is going to be massive. It's going to be a ton of fun. A lot of people training for that. And we are about 1, 2, 3, 4. We're about 8 months away from High Rocks. So much time to get ready for that race if that is a goal you have for yourself. And we have so many cool steps along the way to get you prepared. I did a podcast last week on Monday called The Road to High Rocks, and I detailed kind of what our training plan looks like, why you would benefit from training with OxFit and working with a coach this far out from High Rocks. So if you're interested in any of those events, or if you just want to get better at endurance in general, go listen to that podcast. And always don't hesitate to reach out to me. We can chat about your goals, kind of what kind of support you need. The great thing about the way we program our workouts here at OxFit, and what I don't think a whole lot of people recognize, is that when you sign up for these big events or competitions or things like that, it doesn't necessarily come with a whole lot of extra training. It's just a little bit more focused. So if you're a person that already works out at OxFit, 4, maybe 5 days a week, even if it's less, all we need to do is bump it up to 4 or 5 days of working out with an OxFit class, and we can get you ready for a Deca Fit, a High Rocks, a triathlon, beach brawl. We do it every single year. So if you're scared of doing something like that because you think it means all of this extra time and commitment that you don't have, I just want to tell you that it doesn't. We can get you there just by working out with class, which is a really cool thing. And so that kind of leans into my topic for today, in relation to, OxFit's programming, why we do things the way we do it, and how it compares to other types of fitness. And so that is why today's episode is titled The Pilates Paradox. All right, we are talking about a very hot topic in health and fitness. If you have social media, you work out at all, you definitely have opinions about Pilates, about different styles of training. So I wanted to dive into that today and speak directly, probably more so to my women, my ladies that are watching, but obviously I know so many people have done and tried and enjoyed Pilates before, so I just want to get into it. Let's go. So if we start, we can close our eyes. You don't have to close your eyes, but I just want you to picture the modern wellness aesthetic for women specifically. What do you see? It's probably a really clean, nice, sunlit studio, wooden floors, wearing some matching activewear sets and just somebody gliding effortlessly on a wooden reformer machine. And if you scroll through social media for 5 minutes, you will hear the exact same promises and see the same images and videos that are kind of unspoken promises that are telling you the same thing. Pilates is going to lean you out. It's going to tone you up. It's going to lengthen your muscles and give you a completely new body. It's going to give you the Pilates body that so many people want. But the paradox is that Pilates is everywhere, but almost everything the internet tells you about it is kind of anatomically impossible. So today we're going to pull back the curtain on the Pilates paradox. We're going to look at the science to separate the marketing myths from the physical reality, what Pilates can actually do for your body, and where does it completely fail you. And before we get too far into this, I will say I am not anti-Pilates. I'm actually not anti any type of fitness. I think if something gets you to move your body, it can't be bad for you. But I do think that certain things have a time and a place. And not all types of fitness are created equal, especially when we talk about, the pursuit of fat loss and muscle gain and longevity and quote unquote being toned, which really just means, looking a certain way, presenting a muscular body with not a whole lot of fat, which I would say is most people's goal. So I think the answer with this Pilates, secret to giving us a perfect body, it's kind of a classic case of confusing cause and effect. And think about who you see promoting Pilates online. It's usually models, it's dancers, it's 19-year-old fitness influencers who already possess genetically long limbs, flat stomachs, high metabolisms. They aren't shaped like that because they do Pilates. They do Pilates because their bodies are already perfectly built to excel at it. And I do think this does a disservice to a lot of women. It creates an illusion. Because you look at an instructor, a celebrity, an influencer, and you think, if I do that workout, I will look like them. But your genetics combined with effective training dictate your shape. It dictates where you store your body fat primarily, and it dictates how your muscles look. And I think tying Pilates to this like clean girl aesthetic, it sells a lifestyle of calm, control, green juices, effortless fitness, and people confuse that calm aesthetic vibe of a studio or of a type of workout with actual physiological results. And we think it creates the perfect body because the media only shows us one type of body doing it. So when people start doing Pilates, we have to ask, are we actually doing it for the physical benefits, or because we are chasing this aesthetic and we are chasing this kind of fad body type? I mean, like it or not, strong is out. I don't know if you guys heard, strong is out, skinny is in. And, I think every type of body should be celebrated, but I don't think it's wrong to say that being strong and being capable and have a body built for longevity should be celebrated above all else. And I think this new aesthetic and kind of body image that we are chasing after is only making women weaker, and it's really sad. So one thing I wanted to get into, kind of a myth that floats around, the idea that Pilates lengthens your limbs. And just quickly, human anatomy, your muscles have very fixed starting and ending points. Your muscles are glued to your bones by tendons. You cannot stretch a muscle so much that it permanently becomes longer. If you could actually elongate your muscles, it would destabilize your skeleton and dislocate your joints. So why do people feel longer and leaner after a Pilates class? And really, it's just all about posture and alignment. Most of us spend 8 hours a day sitting like this at our computer, right? And our shoulders roll forward, our spines compress, and our hip flexors tighten up. So when you do Pilates, you spend an hour waking up your upper back, opening your hips, activating your deep core. And you don't leave class longer and leaner. You leave class standing up straighter for the first time in a week. It's kind of a visual trick and sensation of good posture and not necessarily genetic restructuring or whatever we think is going on. And kind of the third paradox of Pilates is the concept of strength. If you've ever taken a class, you know that it burns, your muscles shake, your core fires up, and you sweat a lot. And because it hurts and it might leave you sore, people assume that they are building massive amounts of strength. But in sports science, there's a rule, progressive overload. To make a muscle truly stronger and to build bone density, you have to continually expose it to heavier and heavier loads. And when you're lifting weights, that's easy. You can add 5 pounds to the barbell. You can pick up a heavier dumbbell. You can aim for 5 more reps the next round. But in Pilates, you are working against your own body weight or a few light springs or very light dumbbells. And eventually your body is going to adapt. Once you master a movement, you've hit a strength ceiling. And your muscles will build incredible endurance. They'll burn for a long time, but they're not getting significantly stronger. And it's not going to protect your bones from aging in the way that lifting heavy weights does. And I think this is a huge issue because you can get feedback from your performance in Pilates that you are absolutely excelling. You are holding positions longer than anyone else. You're increasing repetitions. By the look of it, you are doing amazing. But being amazing at Pilates, unfortunately, doesn't correlate to actually having measurable growth and progress in your strength and endurance. And if you are a person right now who has an excess of body fat and you're desiring a toned look, you want to lose your body fat, you want to build some muscle, you have to prioritize growing your muscles so that when you do burn total body fat percentages, you have the shape you want underneath. Okay, we want to avoid the skinny fat, right? Yes, we want to lose excess body fat, but we also have to have a significant amount of muscle mass, not only to look the way we want to look, but for our bodies to sustain itself and to have that, just longevity of being able to do and lift and, not have like loss of bone density. And I think Pilates can help with fat burning initially. If you go from not moving to doing any type of movement, you will see initial results. However, to see continued progress in the form of fat loss and muscle gain, you have to practice progressive overload over time. The best way to do that is to lift heavy weights intentionally, increasing weight and repetition over time, not sliding around on a reformer. And the final piece of the paradox is your heart. True physical fitness requires a strong cardiovascular system. Your heart is a muscle and it has to pump to stay healthy. Pilates is low impact, often slow tempo. It keeps you moving, but it rarely pushes your heart into those higher zones required to improve your lung capacity or your cardiovascular endurance. So if you are using Pilates as your only form of exercise, you are missing a massive piece of the health puzzle. You are building a rock solid core. You are leaving your heart and heavy lifting muscles completely out of the equation. So what's the ultimate verdict, right? Pilates is not a magic pill. We love magic pills these days. It is not a fix-it-all solution. It's definitely not a complete fitness routine. It is absolutely a fantastic supplement. It is unmatched for fixing your posture, waking up deep abdominal muscles, and helping your joints move smoothly. But if your goals are to have an overall increase of body strength, strong bones, a healthy heart, you cannot rely on the reformer alone. So stop chasing this perfect body, perfect aesthetic illusion, this long and lean myth. We need to be picking up heavier weights. We need to be going for a run, and we need to use Pilates for what it actually is, a great way to undo the damage of sitting at a desk all day. So I want you guys to just think about that. If you're not sure what the best way to start exercising is, if you are thinking about making the switch to a new type of exercise based on the way it looks, we just need to ask ourselves, not does it actually work, but when does it actually work? How often does it need to be used? Is this type of fitness something that needs to be supplemented, or should this be the main thing I'm doing every single day? And I think if you ask a lot of professionals in the health and fitness industry, they're going to say we need to be lifting weights almost every day. We need to be challenging ourselves cardiovascularly every single day. And we need to be supplementing with restorative practices like Pilates and like yoga, things that improve our flexibility, our stability, our mobility. But for the long term, if we want to have strong bodies that last our entire lives, if we want to have enough muscle mass and enough fat loss to give us the toned look that we want, we have to be engaging in resistance training. We have to be strength training. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little spiel, the Pilates Paradox. If you do Pilates regularly, I'd love to come try a class with you. If you don't strength train, I would love for you to come work out at OxFit with me. If you have any questions about your workout routine, maybe you do have a lot of different workout components that you bounce around every week and you feel like you're not seeing the results you want, it might be just a couple quick fixes for you to finally start seeing better results. More muscle gain, more fat loss. You can email me at sav@ox.fit. If you're not a member of OxFit and you're catching this podcast, you can visit our website, www.ox.fit. You can DM us on Instagram, a million ways to reach out. And we look forward to lifting some weights with you